so test the audio. Test the audio. Oh wow. Sammy, how are you, bud? How many usernames do you have, Sammy? Hey? Welcome everyone. Wow, 15 people. Okay, awesome. Welcome everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, oh God. Sophastics. Well, that's the abbreviation. Sammy Dizzle, how are you, bud? Yeah, I know, Johnny. I know, bud. Rightio. Let's stick to the devil we know, yeah? That's always a good start. So I'm gonna grab that. I was gonna go back to Snakesville, as I call it, tonight, but I think what we'll do is we'll save that for the next moon phase, all right? I've been trying to remember where that spot is for a long time, and thankfully that guy in the boat today sort of proved it with his depth sounder reading, which is good. So let's just do this and this. No, this. Okay, that's all good. It's Tuesday, innit? Don't know what you're talking about, Sammy. All right. I'm just going to have 5 casts with this big soft plastic and see if there's anything big in here. Tide's still about 3 hours away, so I'm hoping tonight that we don't have any issues with the light. Oi! What was that? Never happens first cast. That got bumped again, people. That was a fish. We might have to go to the smaller soft plastic, I think, and go to the other rod there. This is what happened the other night when we got that other mulloway, remember? Oh, wrong way, Jim. Where are you trying to cast to? I'm aiming over here, it ends up over here. Hang on. Okay, so we've got a westerly coming in here. Good. Might even find a brim under that tree, people. We were doing some long casting today. We hit that boat nearly. Len, my star, how are you, bud? Yeah, you too, Lenny. Thanks to the 24 people that have come in. We're just going to try this bigger soft plastic, basically to let everything know in the river that we're here. Right. Branch there. Right, so the tide's not going to reach us here for about another 2 hours, but what we'll do is we'll just continue to fish. Okay? Easy, tiger. Come on. It seems that green's the only colour that's working at the moment, which I've never seen anything in the water green. Just give me a second and I'll check out chat, fam. That's a really good cast. It's nearly 2/3 across the river. Okay, well, we're going to have to put the big one away now. We'll go to the smaller one. Oh, Dukes, how are you, bud? Welcome. Swank, how are you, mate? Yes, mate, once you've done it enough times, my friend, it just becomes second nature, really, if you know what I mean. So, why is that not changing? Yeah, it just becomes second nature, bud. So, you know, it's like anything. I don't buy a new fishing rod every year. I get accustomed to the ones that I have. So you get maximum return for minimum effort. You know, and that's what it sort of comes down to. So if we couldn't cast as far as we cast, we wouldn't get as many fish as we get, you know. So today I had a little window about, I don't know, 8 foot by 6 foot to go through. That was difficult, but we still managed to do it. I'm getting lots of bumps, people. Have no idea what it is. I don't think there's any turtles in here. Just going to bring these in quick because I just want everything to know that we're here. Yep. And hopefully that light will get rid of the noise tonight. Rightio, one more cast with Big Bertha, as I like to call it. Now, where haven't we cast? There, I think. Rightio. Always got to use the backbone of your fishing rod when you cast, people, all right? A lot of people make the mistake of trying to throw their casts. You've got to use the fishing rod. That's why you spend the money, you know. Let's slow this right down. I was going to go back to Snakesville, but then I ran out of time, people. If you're going to fish Snakesville with this tide, plus it's a bit dangerous there at night when they come out. Hey, come on. Quite a majestic setting underneath the paper bark trees, fam. Come on. And look, thanks to everyone that was in that stream today. We had an absolute corker of a stream today. We had a raid from Ron Cleveland Outdoors and H2P_Guccio, who's been a big supporter of the stream for a long time. Okay, so hey there, Fee. It is nearly 7:30. Swunk, with all due respect, sir. Yeah, with all the stuff I get told about the States, you can keep it. I'm quite happy in Australia. Don't take that the wrong way, all right? Far too many nutties over there for my liking, mate. Oh dear. Now people, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to modify your fishing tackle to suit your needs. Now, whenever you buy a lure, don't be afraid to sort of, you know, take it apart and chop it up to make sure that you can use it for the fishing application that you want. So what I've got here is I've got a few different lures from overseas that I've ordered as samples. Okay, so when they come in, right, a lot of the lure designers aren't designing it for practical purposes. They're designing it for a style and make it look a certain way, you know. Okay. Kiwi Aaron, how are you, bud? Kia ora, what's going on? The southeast, oh, it's a bit harsh. Now, pliers are your best friends when it comes to lure modification, right? So these are some little samples that I had sent from China, as you know who says it, right? So yeah, we got these samples sent over. Now what they do is they cater these for the European and American market. It never gets catered for the Australian market, right? So our rivers in Australia are a little bit different to overseas. So what we need to do now is we need to just give it a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a, oi, look under there. There was a heap of bait fish just under there, people, around that little log. What happened there? Right, so the fact that bait fish are getting put in close is a good sign. So this is your little lure straight out of the packet, right? This is 80 millimeters or 3 and a bit inches and 12.5 grams, okay? This is an absolute 100% total waste of time. With the fishing we're doing, we only need this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm now going to modify this to suit my local fishing conditions, okay? So, if my eyes will work. So we just take the little treble off, okay, and we don't need the treble. Now we've got the issue of the split ring, okay. These are only cheap and nasty split rings anyway. So what we're going to do is we're just going to butcher this, basically, right. Anything that hangs on the bottom of your hook where I fish in my neck of the woods will automatically get snagged, right. No ifs, no buts, it'll just, you'll lose the lure every single time. So what we do is, okay, we just crush this little split ring like so. Okay, there we are. And then what we do is we just remove it. So what we've got now is the fish that we're fishing for today, I mean, they would inhale this, right? No dramas whatsoever, okay? Put that back in the little bag there. Lovely, excellent. So what we've done now is we've virtually made that fishing lure weedless. Okay, that's going to sit like that on the bottom, look like a little fish grubbing, and away we go. There's your little lead weight that's moulded, had the soft plastic moulded around it. That's the T-piece. I've ordered these for next season just to come in with a hook on the top and none of this on the bottom, because that's another structural weakness, right? But what we've done now is, like I said, we've got a beautiful little lure. We can now modify it to suit ourselves, and away we go, okay? OJ, how are you, bud? Oh, no, Kava. Yeah, Kava, you never, ever, ever bend a fishing rod. Did you grab the butt of the fishing rod on the tip? You've probably been watching too many Ugly Stick commercials from the early days. That was their big selling point. They could bring the tip around to the butt of the rod on the smaller ones. right? To bend a fishing rod properly, what you've got to do is put a fishing line through it, get someone to hold the line, and then you bend it, mate, because they're not designed to have because they crease. A lot of graphite's longitudinal, and yeah, it can be a bit of a pain, really. All right, so nice one, OJ. Bennett, that question, right, and please don't take offence to this, that is probably the worst question you can ask someone who's genuine about their fishing, okay? Because that's a matter of perspective. I'll give you a rundown. Catching a 5-pound brown trout in a little creek that's that deep and that wide, it's a bit like catching a 15-kilo snapper out in the boat, bud. So, you know, it just comes down to perspective. So, for example, if you were to ask me, you know, what's the biggest redfin perch I've caught, I could give you an answer, right? But in terms of the biggest fish, that is a bit of an oxymoron, right? And that's a phrase for expression. It's not a personal attack on anyone, right? It's an oxymoron. So what you need to do is be a little bit more specific, right? And just ask a specific type of fish species, mate, because then it actually becomes relevant if you can understand what I'm trying to lay down here, okay? So yeah, just don't take offense to it. Because a lot of people go, oh yeah, it's my new personal best. And you're like, mate, really? Stop trying so hard, you know? Biggest mulloway I've caught, if you're asking the fish species that I'm fishing for tonight, the biggest mulloway I've caught was in Mosman Bay in Perth back in the early 90s, 1.2 metres long out of a boat. Okay? Absolute beast of a fish. It was that big, I didn't know where to put it, so we put it in our bathtub, much to the disgust of my housemate at the time, who went out to have a wash in the morning, and there's this giant croaker looking at it. Big fish too, it was great. Once they get to about 60, 70 centimetres, they start getting that deep shoulder, and then they really start to fill out, you know. Oh, okay. Sticky dip, how are you, bud? Rightio, let's see what this little bugger's got in store for us, and then we're going to go to the go-to colour. That's good. Nice little colour, that. It's a beautiful time of night, people. We've got the sun setting below the trees. The wind's starting to come down. And hopefully we're in a good night of fishing. The moon's not too high in the sky yet, but that's okay. We'll be getting out a few Lumo soft plastics later. Right, and we see how we go. That's not working very well. What's happening there? What happened there? Yeah, you should always put line through a fishing rod before you bend it, mate. That blowfish we caught today was unlucky, wasn't it? Oi! I reached for that one, not very good. What I normally try and do when I start the fishing is just make as much noise as I can. It sometimes brings them in. That's still a fairly half decent cast, you know. It's about 6 feet in there. But the thing is here, we've got a shaly type bottom, so it's pretty good. Same old story, people. If you put in the time, you reap the reward, don't you? And half the time, that's what you've got to do, mate. You've just got to put in the time, you know. Right, now, then I'll get the other one. Hey, a little swamp hen. They don't normally cover that much water. Wow, okay. Lovely. And hopefully we start getting some fly fishing in soon, people. I missed that. Right. Oh, congratulations, mate. Well, that was a bump. Come on. I think we lost the tail on this lure. It's back again, whatever it is. Come on, bud. A lot of people make the mistake that when a fish hits their lure, they just start winding. Right? Don't do that. Stop what you're doing. Let the lure sit there in the water. Let them have a look at it. Okay? Because a lot of fish too, their natural instinct is to hit like a smaller bait fish, let it flutter to the bottom, and then they go back and get it, you know. Big tailor are like that too. So... we're going to do a night fish in this river soon, people. We'll just have to wait till a little bit later. We're going to try and get the run out of the river, if that makes any sense. Okay. Beautiful cast. So what's happening is the tide's coming in this way at the moment, but I've cast down here because it's sort of slowed up a bit for a minute. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the soft plastic underneath this tree line, because sometimes fish will sit underneath a tree, all right, especially brim. I'm going to have to get that big soft plastic out in a second. The silly thing is though, all the bait fish were down at Snakesville today, not here. I haven't seen a single tailor here yet. So we might be hard pressed to find any fish, famo, because obviously the big fish follow the small fish. That's how it normally goes. Lure fishing's fun because you're always busy, you know what I mean? But if you like sitting down on a chair using bait and cracking a few beers, well, good luck to you. If that's your style of fishing, that's your style of fishing, you know? But if you're going to fish in a river, always try and get live bait, people, if you like using bait. There we go. Right, let's bring that back and let's go back to our other little soft plastic we're going to use. Hey Headhunter, how are you, bud? It's good that you've given up. Good that you've given up the smoking, OJ. All right. And what you do, mate, if you ever get the urge, just put the money that you feel like spending on cigarettes into a jar, right? And you'll be amazed how much money you'll have in that jar by the end of the year, mate. The price of rollies are ridiculous. I remember when I sold rollies in a bottle shop. You know, they were, I think, $18 a packet. Now they're over 100. It's ridiculous. And the new tax that's come out from the government, thank you there. Okay. No, just snakes down by the river, you know what I mean? Watching some very funny Saturday Night Live the other day with Chris Farley in there down by the river. Very funny. He was a tragic loss, wasn't he? All right, so there we go. Wasn't he, Swan? Oh, mate, OJ, it's a very expensive way to kill yourself slowly, bud. It'll probably take you 6 months to a year to get the, you know, junk out of your system, mate. But whatever you do, just keep doing it, mate, okay? All right, famo, so this is what we're going to do now. What I've got is I've imported a heap of fishing tackle from the United States, right? The mulloway that we caught the other night was caught using that fishing tackle from the States. I know for a fact that any time I buy anything from America, it's going to be absolutely top quality gear. as they do. They take a lot of pride in what they make. So these are American-made jig heads. Right, excuse me for a second. These are, my eyes are buggered. I wonder if they can fix my eyes. Right, so these are American-made jig heads. Okay. And what we're going to do is put an American-made tail on this. And this is the exact same, actually, no, we lost that in a tree today, I think. That's what happened. No, that's the point. Hang on. This is the wide. Yep, beautiful. Not as strong a light. Now, people, I've got to turn the LED light on that I bought the other day. No, that's not long enough. Righto. Yeah, vapes worse for you than the cigarettes, they say. Swunk. You know, I mean, that vape stuff, I've seen it, you know, it just leaves stains on the walls and Justin, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, midgies don't taste any better at night, do they? No. We'll be going back to Snakesville a bit later, people. All right. Rightio. So what I've got here, okay, is I've got a 3/16 ounce jig head. That's one of the true jig head patterns, not an offset like a lot of the new ones. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't present the bait properly. Oh, yes, it does. Right, in there, in there. Oh, mozzies everywhere. Okay, so there we go. Nice little nice little loop knot there. Okay. Now what we'll do is, let's do this way. I'm just going to show you a little trick that I use on my soft plastic that works really well. I use super glue to hold the tails in shape, and it works really well, people. Right, we want at least 50 centimetres a litre. All right. B, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. What are you doing? Thanks very much for using the F command. All right, let me show you how this works, people. So what I'm going to do here is, where the hell's that? What I'm going to do here is, okay, I'm going to grab one of these chartreuse tails. This seems to be the colour that they want to hit at the moment. So, This is how we're going to do this, right? Rightio. Hang on. What on earth? How did that form a knot? Really, game? Ah. All right. So, basically what we've got here, okay, is we have our 3/16 jig head and our little chartreuse tail, okay? So what I want to do is see these sort of grooves in the soft plastic here. What you want to do is you want to put that in through the very middle of the soft plastic there. But you've got to remember you've got this tail here. I want the tail to ride up. So then what you do is you bring it out through the first groove, push it down here like so, right? Bring it back to here, okay? And voila, what we've got is a little soft plastic. Now that's probably a little bit too chunky for that one. So see that there, that'll actually, oops, that'll actually present quite well, famo. But the only headache that we've got is, right, is when a fish hits or it's going through the water, it'll peel off. So what we do, just as a little bit of insurance, don't use the super glue liquid. It's far too messy and it's got a terrible odour, right? Just get yourself some little bit of Loctite Powerflex gel like this, right? Then what you do is you just press that into the jig head like so, right? So what you do is you press that into the jig head like so, right? And then what happens is you've got an absolutely perfectly presented soft plastic every time you cast it in the water, okay? And it stays that shape, perfectly straight like that. When it wiggles in the current, you've just got to give it a little bit of time just to hold on a bit. So what we'll do is we'll just give this about 5 minutes to dry out, and then what we'll do is we'll start using it. But I'll show you what it looks like in the water as well, okay? Oh, you're welcome, Stallion's third leg. Well, they are, B, because I've made it weedless, bud. This rides with the hook up, so you can fish most spots like that, mate. So what happens is with this, right, that's virtually a weedless position. The fish hits and it exposes the hook. With these, the offset ones are usually used because it has a slightly different angle and you can run the hook along the soft plastic, okay? See, that's a bit to go yet. Let that dry first and then we'll do it. Oh, you're welcome, Stallion's third leg, mate. Everybody goes, oh, how do you keep your soft plastics on your jig for so long? And that's it, mate. Look, people, your fishing tackle is a tool, and same old story, right? Loctite, another great American product, people. I mean, you got to give credit where it's due, All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to see if this LED light makes any noise. Yeah, don't worry about that, mate. Sometimes Stallion's third leg, it's better just to use it and just chill out, mate. Let it take its natural course. Never rush to do anything when it comes to fishing, bud. All right. Now, I bought some lights from the Detroit Tool Company, right? Even though it's made in China, it's designed in America. So what I've got to do is I've just got to put these far enough away from the microphone so that it doesn't affect it. Now on this setting, it's got 1 hour of life. That's the one that it's got 10 hours of life on. So let's plonk that here. Oh, look, Stallion's first leg. A lot of people like to create hype with fishing, bud. That's all they like to do, mate. They just like to create hype, Is that the bright one? Hang on. No, that's it. Hey, OTC, how are you, bud? Now let's just see if that's causing any feedback. Now let's just see if that's causing any feedback. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Hey, 94. No, matey, we haven't really even started properly yet. I've had a few casts just to be annoying, really. But nothing too over the top, if you know what I mean. Right, so what I need to do is the most important thing at all when you're live streaming is to acknowledge your community. So the way we're going to do that, come on, is like that. Oh, nice one, OTC. Well, that's good, mate. That's what it's about, bud. Look, you know, we've got, we've always focused our streams on education. Look, I don't know much, people, right? And you've got to remember, I'm 53 years of age, so a lot of my techniques are older, outdated techniques for what they do now, but we still get fish. You know, we always try and keep an objective approach to our fishing. You know what I mean? We respect our fish. We don't just go fishing just for views, because if I was doing that, I'd be fishing for sharks and Goliath groper like a lot of these idiots do, right? So, you know, I mean, using a soft plastic like this to catch a 60 centimetre to a metre long mulloway is very challenging fishing. And if you don't know what you're doing, right, I mean, yeah, you'll get caught out. We've caught and released over 80 fish in this river over the last 3 years. This season's been terrible though. Right, I'll have a few casts with this. Clarky the Aussie, how are you, bud? Oh, you're welcome, OTC. And this is good, people. Look, I'm the least important. Oh, that was a bite, fam. Whoa, that was a bite. I think that was a little tailor, which is good. All right, so this is good. We might be in for a mulloway tonight. That was a tailor. Okay, so we found the bait fish. We'll find the big fish. Now, people, the other thing is too, right? One beef that I've always had with this platform is you never seem to get value for money for what you, you know, like outlay on here. So what we're going to do is, and I was going to do this a long time ago, but I had a lot of issues with it. But what we'll do is later on, once we get everything set up, we're going to give something back to the community that's tangible, right? I've been having massive issues with merchandise and that sort of stuff. I ordered a heap of stickers, they were all wrong. So I think I lost about $700 there, but that's my call. I chose to do it. It's no one else's problem other than mine, right? Because all the stickers were wrong. So now what we're going to have to do is go to a another company, spend a little bit more just to get what we want, you know? This time of night, Lumo colours are really good, people. Just something with a very, very subtle glow or hint to it. That's another reason why we've got the LED light. How does the stream look with that light? Good? Gonna have to get some of my Mozzie spray, I think. Righto, now that other soft plastic should have dried, so let's get on with it. Anonymous gifter, thank you for gifting a sub to Clarky the Aussie. Nah, Scrubs, you don't eat fish from rivers, mate, in Australia. You don't know how much pollution's in here, bud. You know, that's another swamp hen. Never eat fish from a river, mate. Back in the early 90s, I made the mistake of eating some bream from the Swan River. Oh, I was sick. Oh, I was sick for a long time. Rightio, let's get the old chartreuse demon going. Lovely. All right, now these little 3-inch grubs catch some of the biggest fish in this river that you've never seen, right? Okay, that's good drag. There's our first bump. Come on. This is what happens. The fish will come along and they'll just muck around with the soft blackies, and then out of nowhere it's whoompa, you know? Or however it goes. What was hitting that? Let's find out. All right. Beautiful. Most of your fish in here are just on the canopy line there from the shore, people. That's all you got to do, you know. Have your drag set a little bit on the lightest. Did everybody see the bend in the rod then? They've had some very tentative hits this year. Have no idea what it is, you know. So what we've got here, people, is we've got a rocky bottom, right? All right, I'll show you that in a minute. Okay. You never know when fish are going to turn up, people, so you just keep fishing. Beautiful cast again. All right. Feral, how are you, bud? OTC, what I do, mate, is I modify the fishing, right, to suit the conditions. So at the moment, the conditions in this river are best at night. And from about, what is it now, 8 o'clock. So about, if we're going to get fish tonight, it's going to be between 9 and 11. All right. So this water's going to reach here, and that's when we'll start to get them, okay? What I do is I just modify the fishing times to suit the conditions, bud. Right. So I'll, you know, when I'm fishing in the mornings, that's the best time to go fishing with the conditions. When I fish in the evenings, that's pretty good times to go fishing in the evenings, right? So with the rivers, there's usually a few governing factors that you have to follow. If not, you won't get any at all, you know? So, lovely. The other thing is too, like last night we had the light shining on the water. A lot of times when you go fishing in these spots, it's always best to shine it so that your shadow goes on the shore. See how the shadow's in the trees over there, right? When we go fishing on the beach at night, we have a huge lights display, people, so actually can't wait to get these LED lights in there as well. Might have to go to a Lumo in a minute, fam. We lost a monster fish in here last year, remember? About a week earlier than this in the same month, but further upstream up here. And look, people, once you've fished one river, usually all rivers are the same. So all you got to do is what you learn on one spot, you can carry into the next spot. So the moon at the moment sitting here with this time of night. Then what it's going to do is gradually work its way out from the trees. Once we've got a little bit of a silhouette of the moon, hopefully the fish are going to be able to use it to see the little lures. But the thing is too, trying to land a big fish in here at night is a tough proposition, but we're up for the job, you know. Like I said, you never know when they're going to turn up, fam. You just got to be in it to win it, you know what I mean? I'm just going to cast underneath this snag over here. That's good. The only problem is when you hook fish in this spot, they head left or right. Okay, so half the time you've got to walk out in the water and try and intercept them and spook them out into the middle of the river. But you know, you're dealing with a wild animal here, people, so it's not like it's a pet cat or a dog or anything that responds to commands, you know what I mean? Boom. Now, just give me a second and I'll come back to chat. Okay. Hey Boris, how are you, bud? Kava, how are you, bud? Oh, you learnt more here. Yeah, see. I don't know about that, Kava, but you know. A lot of people have forgotten how to work with nature, mate. When I grew up, I was in it. Right, so my dad was a beekeeper when he was alive, and I've travelled all over the state, people. I fished nearly every single waterway, from Esperance to, well, Geraldton virtually, but because a lot of them were done when I was younger, I don't really remember them, but when I get down there, you know, it's just, it sort of comes back to you, if you know what I mean. So, first redfin perch I ever caught was on my great uncle's farm in Boyett Brook. And yeah, I was literally hooked from that day on, pardon the pun. Absolutely, you know, when you're a kid, it's just something that's different. You know, one thing I've always done is fishing. You know, it's not the most exciting sport, I guess, but you know, I've got some spots that we're going to go down south with the Starlink people that are just going to absolutely sort of reveal exactly what this state has to offer, you know. And as you're well aware, we don't just go and plonk ourselves on a seat and do the same old repetitive stuff week in, week out. We like to mix it up a bit. I mean, we've been doing some soft plastic fishing for a while, but that's a lot harder than bait fishing. We've been doing it from different spots. You've just got to, there's an old saying, fish are where you find them, so you got to go and find them. Righto, let's just leave that like that for a second. Right. Original DJR, how are you, bud? Yeah, we're just using lures. Oh yeah, Cava, just follow, turn your notifications on, mate. I've got one spot that I want to take us with the Starlink if I can swindle it with work. Right, you walk over this huge rocky outcrop on the mainland and there's another island. You can actually see black marlin swimming between the mainland and the island. 5 metre, 6 metre great whites, salmon schools, it's just nuts, people. Groper like this, right? I'm literally talking like this, right? And I've got some crab patterns coming. Oh, come on, come back. I've got some crab patterns coming in from overseas as samples. I'm going to test them in some real time, you know. Right, let's go. That's going to be good fun trying to kill reels. I like this Shimano rod, people. This is like a modern day version of the old bullwhip. I had the bullwhip for a long time. Lovely little rod. We had the Shimano Bantam Mag. That was a great little reel. If you're going to fish with ultralight lures, people, and you want to fish between 1 and 3 kilo line, just use thread lines like this. Don't muck around with overheads, you know. It's too much grief, you know what I mean? biggest problem in this stretch of river where we are is just signal. Oh, don't do that. Let's just get rid of that through there. And as I said yesterday, people, couldn't believe that. I said if we get 150 people watching the stream, I'll do the announcement. Roly-poly-potamus raids with 200 and something. So, yeah, the other thing is to... Oh, stop. Hang on a second. There's lots of little fish out there. Just bump, bump, you know. Oh, come on, bud. This is the good thing about braid too, people. You can sort of... Ooh, that was small, whatever it was. In this river in the early days, back in the 70s and 80s, you could catch whiting here, you know. Oh, 5452, I've fished Denmark for years, bud. We've got a big trip planned to Denmark this year, bud. Not really, Boris. It is Buddha. How are you, mate? Phobot man, thank you very much for using your Twitch Prime there, bud. Oh, heaps, Boris. Mate, in Denmark, you catch mulloway like herring, mate. All these soft plastics, we go to Denmark and Albany and that sort of stuff, and you fish deep and very subtle, right? You catch so many mulloway, it's nearly criminal. Okay, so got to remember too, people, even though we're not catching fish now, later on when we do get down there, I mean, I'm going to be taking the kayak with the Starlink into the Franklin River. That's an absolutely amazing fishery, but you got to know where to fish, you know? So we've also got spots in the Calgan. You've got Denmark. You've got the beaches around Albany, Bornholm, Circus Beach. The list is endless, people. You know, you've just got to know what you're doing. The other thing is too, I mean, you know, I've just recently paid off the 4-wheel drive, so I own it now. And yeah, so, and it's mechanically A1 because last year what I did is I put in a new radiator, changed all the cooling hoses, water pump, timing belt, and a new heavy duty clutch. So we're good for another 150,000 Ks, you know, for streaming purposes. The other thing is too, we've got a heap of freshwater content planned this year. I'm going to try and get to a spot that I know I can actually take you to where the Warren River forms, where the Pirrup and the Tone River form the Warren River. And it's quite a spectacular fishery, people. Very salty up that way. But, you know, there's all sorts of things you can do, people. There's a lot of history associated with the rivers in the southwest. Oh, whoa! What was that? It's like they're swiping it. I don't think they spawn this time of year, do they? Mullumbimby. Yes, you do. Bad Laws Boris, you call them Tommy Ruff, same fish. Draper, how are you, bud? Mullumbimby, I haven't heard that. I'll look it up though. No, I have. We might call it something different though. Where's that sun? We're casting about 1/3 of the way across the river here, people. So good thing about this Shimano rod is as soon as you lift the rod tip, the lure starts working. or in this case the soft plastic. So, you know, I don't know whether you just saw that, people, but in here, we just had a little bait fish just in here. And I've just got it hitting my soft plastic now. So if the bait fish are here, then obviously the fish are pushing him into the shallows. We could be in for a good night. We know that the fish are there, but we don't know whether they're going to take a soft plastic, okay? So we'll just keep fishing and just hope for the best, and that's all you can really do, you know? But yeah, I just saw a little tailor swipe through there, and then it was chomp, chomp, chomp at the tail. So we're going to be onto it here. Or bass. Yeah, bass are an eastern states fish, but I'd love to catch bass over here. Wish they released Murray cod into the rivers here, people. Would have been awesome. All right, so I've just had some more bait. We've got bait fish in here, people. This is going to be okay. They might be attracted to the light. We don't know. Bloody mosquitoes. I hope I don't get Ross River. Right. This wind's died off. We're in just about in prime time, fam. Lovely. This is good. We're doing well. Yeah, thanks, Draper. That's like when I go fishing in a pine forest. You expect to see someone carrying an axe, wearing an ice hockey mask, stick their head out from a pine tree trunk and then just start chasing you down the hill, you know? Thanks for that, bud. Feeling really good about myself. Is everybody happy with the content of the stream, people? Because what we try and do is we're trying to bring our community together with our content, right? We don't want anyone to feel pressured in any way to do anything. All we want you to do is just come in, enjoy the stream, and just chill out, right? And try and feel as though you're here with us, okay? Hang on. What was that on the surface? One thing too, people, you always got to keep an eye on the water. I just saw a little movement in the surface there, as if something was feeding on the surface, as if it was a big swell. Come on. I think I might go to the Lumo one in a second. Come on, bud. Ooh. Oh, this is really starting to grate me. And in case anybody can't figure it out, I genuinely do enjoy fishing, people. This is actually what I normally do with my fishing. I just turn the camera on, you know, so... Excuse me. Every single rod and reel that you buy has a balance point. So without the lure on there, see how my balance point is at the front of the foregrip here? That's why I hold my rod here, right? That's where I've got most of my control with it. Okay. We're going to be doing a fairly serious black brim stream just before the winter gets here, people. I'll give you the rundown on black brim fishing in Western Australia. In the old days, in the first 2 weeks of May, back in the 70s and the 60s, first 2 weeks of May, it'd rain flat out, right? And what would happen is the rivers flush out and they clean themselves, and all the big brim clean themselves of all the parasites from the summer and that sort of stuff, and they go into spawning mode, right? There's one spot in the southwest that you can fish when the winter weather hits for the first 3 or 4 days, and they just go on the bite. We'll be going there in the kayak, all right? So the other thing is too, I was meant to take us down to another spot a couple of weeks ago to try and catch some big yellowfin whiting and some King George on soft plastics. Oi, did you hear that, people? There's something on the shallows over there, or not on the shallows, on the surface. Did you hear that? Right. Okay, let's not ignore chat longer. Hey, brother Pugs. Oh. Hey, bro, like, how are you? Tim Allen Grunt, thank you very much for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Lone Dog AU, Gizmo TV, Headhunter, Saundy, and the Real Pugzilla. Can you just please thank Tim Allen Grunt, because that's a lot of money, all right? Hey, Tim, thanks, mate. Now, people, we have the Real Pugzilla in chat. The Real Pugzilla is one of the few people that's been nice to me on Twitch the whole time I've been here, right? So if you would like to follow a passionate streamer from America that is very good at what he does, then that streamer is the Real Pugzilla, right? And the Real Pugzilla plays EAFC 24, okay? Tim, thanks, mate. Look, times are tough, bud. We don't know what the world's going to do in 2024. So, you know, I appreciate that, mate. You know, but please make sure that you looked after yourself before you worry about anyone else. Yeah, it is. Excellent, Pugs. And look, people, we do have a YouTube channel. I don't know how many people in here are on the YouTube channel, right? But with the YouTube channel, what is wrong with this? Thank you. Please go across and subscribe for free on the YouTube channel. Okay, that's where most of our fishing content gets uploaded to. That's why we have no alerts on the stream. Okay. We've now reached 4,700 subscribers on our YouTube channel, which is awesome. Thanks for the support. Okay. Okay. Right, 72%. Let's chuck there. 2 pints, that's right. Nothing to apologise for, mate. Okay, nothing to apologise for. 2 pints. Thank you very much for being in here, bud. Oh, there's my rod. Oh, let's try again. It's funny how many fish hit these 3-inch grub tails, people. Bugger, don't do that. That's what I don't like about these Chinese-made reels. You know, you don't need to have 27 ball bearings in a reel to make it work, people, you know. Come on, bud. You only need, what, a really good ball bearing in the line roller, right? You need one either side of the handle, and you need one inside the rotor head, and hopefully you've got a worm drive on your reel, and then you need one on the top and the bottom of your worm drive. Maximum you need, okay, like that, is about 6. Oh, hang on, Thamo. There's something milling in the water over there, right? Hang on. I just keep seeing something come up to the surface and shoulder the water. Okay, we're right. I think I just hit it on the head anyway. Wattle or Wettle, how are you, bud? No, 2 pints. We haven't caught anything tonight, bud. It's still a bit early, I think. This is the last night with these conditions where we might have a chance of a fish. Okay, so that's why I'm down here just trying to get it all. Now, what was that? Did everybody hear the like bloop? Come on. So what we might do is we might swap to a Lumo tail. Then I'll show you how to charge the Lumo tail. You know what colour would work here? The old school motor oil that we have as well. Bro Naughty, how are you? Carp fishing, yeah, the carp fishing's taken over in South Africa, right? So it's become quite a big fishing thing over there because they're a pest now, you know. God, I hope they don't get any more into West Australian waters. We've had these idiots that have released them into dams over here. Right. Someone told me that they've seen carp up to 3 feet long in a spot down here in Western Australia. We'll be taking the kayak out there with the Starlink to try and catch them. Okay? And apparently someone's released Australian bass and also Murray cod into a couple of waterways. Right? And, oi, bugger. Beautiful cast. That's exactly where I wanted it. Original DJR. Are you still in Gloucester, are you? Nice one, bro. Oh, nice one. Mackie bashing. Look, Original DJR, live baiting is the best way to go into a river, right? So if you were going to live bait in a river, what you'd do is you'd go to the beach and catch a heap of whiting. You'd come back here, you'd throw out a live whiting. So with the live whiting, not only would you catch mulloway, you'd also catch bull sharks as well if you were that way inclined, right? I don't do that sort of fishing with the live baiting. I prefer the challenge, so hence I use soft plastics and I still catch fish, people. I mean, you can go fishing with live bait and still not... Oi, 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 that's a hit. That was a hit. That hit that mid-water. Normally they hit them when they drop. What is going on? We've got all these little tentative taps, you know. It's like they're just bumping them out the way, saying, get out of here, you know what I mean? And blowfish aren't active at night, so... Wow, thank you very much to the 131 people that are in here. Unbelievable. Thank you very much for giving up your time to watch the stream. Did that just get brighter? I think that just got brighter, didn't it? What happened there? Might be the ghost that's adjusting the light, yeah? Hang on. I don't want it to run out of battery because we've got to be here for at least 4 hours. We're going to fish till midnight tonight, fam. Excuse me for a second. All right, 1, 2, 3. So on this setting here, right, this apparently lasts for 10 hours, according to the Detroit Tool Company. So let's hope they're spot on, eh? Yeah, Justin, I'm trying to remember, is Mullumbimby over east? Hey Dukes, how are you, bud? Mate, thanks for the compliment today, mate. Very well appreciated, bud. Because that's exactly what we try and... Hang on, Mullumbimby, is that Geraldton? I can't remember, hang on. Weddell, none. Whoops. What? Oh, it's in New South Wales. Of course I've never fished it, mate. Oh, okay. Oh, that's life, Echidna. It's still not the right time yet, bud. Oh, that was part of an old Australian sonnet, wasn't it? Oh, dear. We're getting some really good airtime now, people. So the wind's calmed down. Okay. Oi. That was a very long cast, actually. Oh, it's in the tree. Get out of there. Hang on, people. Just got to be careful that nothing with a fin gets me, you know. Well, there's all the shrimp. There's a heap of shrimp that are belting around now. Can you see all the little shrimp on the surface here? Little prawns, I should say. I don't like being in the water at this depth for too long, people. But anyway. Look at that. Come off it. All right. So, oh really? Invasive species don't help, but pollution's also one of the biggest killers, bro naughty. You could even probably, the introduction of non-native species is a form of pollution as well, you know. I mean, carp are one of the few fish that can eat vertically, if you know what I mean. So what happened here? That's all right. Hey, don't do that. Oh, how did that wrap around the line? Let's have a look. Nah, Echidna, we got one a couple of nights ago, which was pretty good. So what we'll do here is, where's me? They're Mulloway Echidna. They're not Jewies, mate. We've got Western Australian Jewfish here, bud. They're the real Jewfish. But you guys wouldn't know about that. A little bit of Western East Coast banter there for those of you that were thinking about it. Hey there, Censored. How are you, bud? Yeah. I never really left, mate. I just went and had a hiatus at YouTube. You know, it's amazing how many people embed their streams on YouTube, fam, you know. Like, you'll see them on there, you know what I mean? They've got like 1,000 subscribers and, you know, 5 million views, and then you see a VOD on their channel that's not theirs, you know what I mean? Oh, gee, how'd that happen, you know? All right, people. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you what the fish feed on. Hey, Jumper, how are you, mate? Hello from Australia, welcome. Hello. I don't know how they say it in Danish. All right, people, so check this out, right? See in here? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you something in here, right? Like that. Let's go in there. So what I'll do is I'll just do this in here. Ready? Watch the water when I walk in. Watch. Come on. Come on. Where are you, little buggers? So what we had before when I walked into the water, here they are. We had a heap of little shrimp. They're all jumping out here now because we scared them off. Right, but that's what a lot of the big fish will come in and eat as well. Wee, what's that V in the water? Hey, away from me. Let's take that back now. Yeah, Justin, I suggest you stop trolling, bud, because you won't be in the community for too long, mate. That's your first and last warning, bud. Don't disrupt the stream. Okay? Rightio. Okay, so that the prawns are getting pushed to the surface. Excuse me. Cheeky bugger, what was that? Right. Rightio, let's have a couple more casts with this. Good cast. Rightio. Butterfish, okay. Yeah, well, that's right, 2 points, you know. That's an absolutely ridiculous comment. And unlike other communities that will focus on the squeaky wheel, we just do the right thing by the 99.9% of people that are in chat, mate, okay? So, we're not a daycare facility, if you know what I mean. Or in this case, night care. I've just got enough of a silhouette from the moonlight here to know what the surface of the water's doing. I have been down in this spot before, people. Certain spots fish differently and fish better than other spots. So for example, this spot is better earlier in the month. The other spots are better later in the month, you know? Just for some reason, I don't know what the theorem is behind it. It just seems to be how it works. Never been to New South Wales at all, mate, so no. I think that's a kangaroo, people. Rightio, let's slow it down. I can feel that tail on the soft plastic working. See you tomorrow, Justin. It's not about you, bud. Kids these days. Midnight Manimal, I don't use scents, mate. I just rely on presentation, bud. If you're going to use scents, you may as well use baits. You know what I mean? That's why it's a soft plastic. You know what I'm saying? You just cast it out there and try and deceive the fish into, you know, thinking that it's something that's alive. I'm getting very small fish that are hitting. They're not blowfish because they don't become active at night, you know. We'll get a Lumo soft plastic tail on in a minute, people. See how that goes. Michael Bublé. We do have another Michael that we never mention in this stream, 2 Pints. There's a few people that know about it, right? So we'll just leave it at that, okay? I don't know whether you saw that, people. There was just a little silver flash underneath that branch over there. So it looked like the same sort of bronzy pinky colour as a mulloway. So they could be coming in. So let's just see if there's something there. I just saw the flash underneath the tree, right? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bow and arrow cast, right? So I'm just going to try and get in here and do a little bow and arrow cast and see if I can just get underneath here. Ah, terrible. I took a step as I went to do that. Hang on. That's the cast. So people, let me show you a very handy cast that you can use called the bow and arrow cast, right? Do you have a most memorable fishing moment? See, that's a far more relevant question, Send It Big. Let's have a look. I think the most memorable fishing moment I've had is when I was 17 years of age. No, younger. And I went fishing with my friend and we both started fly tying at the same time. And I caught my first fish on a fly in the Donnelly River. It was an absolute disaster of a fly, but it still caught fish, you know. So yeah, that's probably my most memorable fishing moment. So, all right, people. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to do a bow and arrow cast. Look, people, a lot of people try and do a bow and arrow cast with the backbone pointing towards them. Absolute waste of time. What you've got to do is when you do a bow and arrow cast, right, you always grab the lure or soft plastic behind the point on the hook. Then what you do is you point the backbone away from you, so you're always taking the line away from you. You can actually get quite a decent cast. See? So what that does is when you drop down to that high above the water level, you can send out a really flat cast underneath cover like we did there. Okay? Right. Now there is an old saying, people, in New Zealand, right? The blacker the night, the blacker the fly. So maybe we should try that with soft plastics as well, eh? What do you reckon? Should we try that? Wow, 140 viewers. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to be making some feathered jigs for a freshwater fishing trip soon too, people. So if you want to see how they're made, what happens is when you've got a roaring full moon, it's not much point going fishing anywhere, right? So that's what you do. You spend a bit of time on your gear. You know what I mean? Okay. Right, well, let's change things up a bit. I don't even think the green's working, you know? Okay. Now let's try a couple more colours with this. Or a couple more casts anyway. Right, so what are we going to do now? I think what we'll do is we'll put a Lumo tail on, right? And with the Lumo tail, what we'll do is we'll charge it up and send it out. Alrighty. So this is real fishing, people. These are the countless hours that you spend perfecting your craft before you get onto that fish of a lifetime, you know. Bacon and egg, yeah, I hear that all the time too, Roscoe. Right, just excuse me for a second. I'm just going to chuck this on the phone. Right. Okay, so this is the good thing about a good quality Lumo like this, people. And that's the good thing about these American-made soft plastics. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the benefit of quality over price. Okay, so check this out. This is why we buy these really good quality soft plastics. So see this? Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge that with my headlamp. And then that's why you spend the money on American-made soft plastics, okay? See the Lumo in that? So what that's going to do, that is going to emit a dull glow in the water, right? And that is actually what is going to be swimming around in the water. So the fish will be able to use that, okay? And as you can see as well, with this, it actually stays luminous quite, well, for quite a long time. And that just gives you that little bit edge when it comes to your fishing, okay? Yeah, I don't know about that echidna. We'll have a look. I think the jury's out on that, bud. These Detroit Tool Company tools are fantastic, people. Okay, so let's get this Lumo on. Now look, if you're going to fish for mulloway, make sure you've got at least a 20-inch leader, right? Minimum legal size of fish is 50 centimetres here in WA, alrighty? And you want to make sure that you've got a heap of monofilament on there, because if you do get your first meatery and that sort of stuff, they're a very deep-bodied fish, and you don't want to have too short a leader, because if any of the fins rub the leader, right, you'll lose the fish. Oh, sorry, rub the braid, you'll lose the fish. Hey there, Temp Fail. How are you, bud? All right, so we're just going to charge this up now with our headlamp, the lead lenser. Okay. All right, now. Ooh, that's got an eerie glow in the water, hasn't it? Beauty. Give it a nice big loop. Let's see if the Lumo tails work. Oh, the good thing about that is you can actually see where you cast it. One thing too, with the prawns that are in this river, they have a slight luminous tinge in this light. So hopefully the fish mistake this for one of the prawns as well. Gonna slow it right down. I've actually got fish hitting this, people. They're small, but they're hitting it. Or it could even be prawns, we don't know, you know. Right, that moon's starting to creep over the trees now. All right, it's got a very dull glow in it. No, not scented, bud. SPN, how are you, bud? We don't use any scents when we fish, bud. We just rely on the presentation of the lure. We obviously don't catch as many fish, but then that way, when we do, it just comes down to our efforts, you know. Beauty. Let that sink to the depths. Hopefully this Lumo will do the trick, you know. It's designed to be fished in low light conditions. There's something swimming out there just past the trees. I can hear it. So I don't know whether that's mullet coming. Oi, that was a hit. That was a hit, people. Whatever it is, it's not very big. Will Pro Gamer, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, matey. Let's just load this up again. It's got a very, very healthy like glow to it, hasn't it? And this is the thing you got to do, people. You got to just try and figure stuff out, you know. No one figures it out for you. There we go. Yeah, it is echidna. That's what it's about, mate. We just use, you know, fishing as a way to relax. You know what I mean? So it's all good fun, mate, you know. We don't get wrapped up in the personal bests and, you know, all the big talk. We'll leave that to the gurus, mate, and we'll just carry on doing what we're doing. I have got another trip planned to Fraser Island and a couple of spots out there, but we'll do that as a sort of reunion sort of thing. We'll worry about that later on when it happens, you know. Yes, Crypto, do me a favour, bud. Please don't use the emotes of live streamers. But if you're going to come in and say hello, pop a couple and that sort of stuff. Because a few years ago we had to make a decision, and one of our policies is we don't allow that because, you know, when we were doing 10 or 12 viewers, no one gave two you-know-whats about our stream, right? And then once we started to get a bit more of a profile, everybody was just coming in and bombarding emotes and that, mate. So that's why we've banned so many emotes in the channel because, oh yeah, it was just ridiculous. Nah, the moon's full in 3 nights, Echidna. That's why the 4th night before a full moon is usually about your limit for mulloway. Sometimes you get them on the 3rd night. We've done that before, you know. Oh, what was that? Oh, yeah, there was just some very, like, small, there they are, little shrimp. They're shrimp. Something keeps hitting this soft plastic, but it's only a very small fish. There they are. Might have even been more shrimp, really. It's the same moon, Echidna. You know, if you're in the southern hemisphere, mate, and in the same country, it's the same moon, bud. It's just a little bit closer to dawn for you than us here, mate. Rightio, we might have to try and go out deeper in the river, I think. Fishing's a lot like Lotto Fam. You never know when you're going to get that big fish, you know. That one that we got the other night was good for this time of year anyway. Okay. It's funny though, isn't it, people? You know, like today we had a really big stream. We peaked at about, I think it was 2,900 viewers with the raid. And when we raided out after 2 hours, we still had 1,000, you know? And we had so many people that popped in for the stream that we hadn't seen for a while. And when we were running 40 or 50 viewers, they never came in. And as soon as we had, like, you know, 4 figures, it's like, oh, g'day, mate. It's like, don't you think I remember when you don't turn up? Oh, dear. Very funny, Famo. You know, just very funny. Might have to go to the bloodworm colour, I think. We are getting very little hits. They're not very big fish. So the Lumo might be working, but what is it? Can actually feel the heat off that headlamp. Postman Pat, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Beautiful. Wind's come up again. It's been a shocking season for wind anyway. Samurai, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Okay, so what is it now? 9:05. If we are going to get a fish, it's going to be in about another half hour before they start, but I doubt it. I'd like that moon just a little bit further out in the middle of the water, you know? Then I'll change the tail again. Oh, the police chopper's out. Hey, Aloha Brooks, how are you, bud? It's been very quiet, mate. Hey, Postman Pat, we are hoping for mulloway, bud. That's what we call them in Western Australia. In the eastern states, you call them jewfish. I don't know why, because of the jewels in the head, but anyway. But over here in Western Australia, we have the proper jewfish, which is spelt DHUFISH. Same old story, people. You just change the colours of your soft plastic tails again. How have you been, Aloha Brooks? How's life treating you, bud? Just going to cast this out and just leave it for a minute. Right, let's do a bit of reverse psychology. Guten Tag, Bunker Bart. How are you, mate? Oh, do they, Samurai? Come sta, compadre? A undi cazzo yisti? Oh no, a undi cazzo yisti? Che cazzo vuoi? What are you doing? Where you been? Huh? Now, people, don't forget that we have our YouTube channel. Okay. Nick FIFA King, dobro večer. So zdravie še dojde. So please go across and subscribe for free on our YouTube channel. This is what we're trying to catch tonight, people. We're trying to catch mulloway, okay? Thank you very much, compadre. Grazie bene, eh? Cheeky buggers over the other side of the river with a headlamp. Years ago in the Swan River in Perth in the 80s, a guy hooked a monster mulloway, right? And he was fighting it in Mozzie Bay. And when he was fighting it, he could feel the weight of the fish. Then out of nowhere, what he did is he actually felt like a dead weight. He reeled in the head of the mulloway. The head of the mulloway was like that. And what had happened was a bull shark had followed the mulloway, swam straight off behind it and bitten it behind the head. Made the newspapers and everything, you know. Nice one. Hey, Bravo One Plays. Welcome, bud. Oh, the aircon pumping. Prowler, how are you, bud? Bunker Bart, I don't eat mulloway, mate. So, yeah, I don't eat mulloway, mate. I haven't eaten them for a long time. I think the last time I ate them, one was, yeah, it was Fraser Island. But I always let mulloway go. I always let brim go. I usually let trout go as well. I've got some absolutely mind-blowing spots on the Warren River, fam. You wait till we get out there with us, darling. This is going to be a lovely little fishing rod. Well, it already is, but, you know, we got our mulloway on this the other day. We christened it. Excuse me. Rightio, let's get the big soft plastic out and see how we go with that, eh? Bravo, welcome to the stream. I better do the welcome command. No point being impolite. Welcome everyone. welcome to the new viewers in the community or the future of the community. Please come in and make yourself at home. Wow, 4,710 subscribers on YouTube, famo. Unbelievable. Thank you very, very much for the support. And hope you enjoy the content as much as we enjoy providing it, you know. Wow. Look at all that. Awesome. Oh, they're just a very slow growing fish, Samurai. And they just get absolutely belted, bud. Like a lot of people like to just absolutely belt. I mean, the worst ones are, you know, the content creators, mate. You know, oh, I caught 5 brim on my lunch break and killed them all. Good on you, bud, you hero. You know. But when you think about it, mulloway are the same, snapper are the same. I mean, some people, all they do, I mean, the Australian equivalent of the shark fishos overseas, or it's, you know how a lot of people fish for your sheep's head, which are a beautiful looking fish. They're sort of like a cross between a sweet lip and a snapper we got over here. In Australia, a lot of people just fish for snapper for content, you know, right? Because they're an easy target once you figure it out. Mulloway much the same, and brim are much the same, people. Very territorial fish, you know what I mean? And when they're on the bite, they're on the bite. I've got one river down south that I'm going to take everyone to. And when you paddle along in the kayak, hey, little blue manna. Hello, mate. What are you doing, bud? Come here. You're in party good time mode, aren't you? Come on. Come here. We've got a few blue mannas coming in with the tide, famo. That's a shrimp coming in really close. Off it goes. Yeah, all the blue mannas are starting to come in now, famo. There it is. Oh, that's a little blue manna. I might have to tie a few little blue manna flies, I think. I wonder if a blue soft plastic would work because of all the blue mannas in the river. That'd be interesting. I thought it was a little school of fish in the dull light. It was actually a blue manna crab, so. That's a big one. Oh, that's a big one. Hello, big fella. Look at you. You're magnificent. Aren't you? What I'll do is I'll just catch this blue manna. I'll show you what they look like and we'll just work it from there, okay? I think they're a mating pair. Come on, bud. This is the male here. Come on, matey. I'll just bring him onto the shore. Come on, bud. There we go. Hey, big fella. No, 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 don't you bite me. Rightio. So this is a legal size blue manna crab. This is one of the males. Okay. These are a beautiful fish. I mean crab. Not fish, what am I saying? Okay, so this is a legal size one. And yeah, they're a striking colour, aren't they? I wonder if a emerald blue soft plastic would work. So, yeah, well, that's the thing, Bravo. It's the same thing that happens with snapper here. Yeah, I know what you mean, Postman Pat. That's why they get fished out, bud, pretty easy. So just excuse me for a second. Got a very good friend of mine that loves crabs. Don't you bite me. They are going to 100% go off their brain when they see this. That's exactly why I'm doing it. Hang on. Hang on, let me just sort this out. Rightio. Yeah, what I did is I just coaxed him up to the shore there, right, and then just, there you go, bud. See you, mate. All right, send that off. She's going to get very annoyed with that. Oh, here comes the abuse anyway. All right, there we go. One thing that I find very frustrating about Telstra is we never get like stable signal, you know. Yeah, they're a striking looking fish. Bravo, if you go to Google and type in magpie morwong, so MAGPIE MORWONG, that's our equivalent of a sheep's head. Very similar looking fish, but it's got really quite red lips as well. Funny little fish. Some people call it the kissing fish, you know, because of the red lipstick on the lips, you know. Just got to put in the hours, fam. Try and get the fish. It's a good cast. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I know that it's a pretty quiet old night, but sometimes you fluke one big fish just before the full moon, and that's what we're trying to hope to achieve here, you know what I mean? That must have been a mating pair of crabs that came through. Night time is the best time to go for crabs anyway, people. Might go and do me trip. Excuse me for a second, I've got to do this. Oh, it is. Hey, thanks, Dukes. Look, bud, like I've said to people, Dukes, you know, we're about community and content. We like to bring our community together with our content, mate. So, you know, that's all that comes down to. Yeah, right, wow. Okay. Yeah, it's funny with that, isn't it? You know, Florida looks like a beautiful part of the world, mate. We've still got the tide coming in, fam. It hasn't turned at all yet, so that's going to be a concern. Beautiful. Hopefully, echidna. Hey, Uncle Dave, how are you, mate? Thank you very much for tuning in to the stream, okay? Normally, Roscoe asks me to say really nice things about him, but unfortunately, having known him for such a long time, I can't bring myself to do it, mate. So, you know, you're a very patient man, Dave. I'm just kidding, 2 pints, all right? I reckon he'd be, oh, come on. Echidna, you might be right, bud. What was that? I think I know exactly which colour to use. And this is the thing with soft plastics, people. You just got to crack the code. Like the other day, we'd been using the Pearl soft plastics and a heap of different colours. And then what I did is I put the chartreuse tail on, which is like a luminescent, like a bright green. And then we put the painted black jig head on it, and we caught that 2-foot long fish. So what we'll do tonight is I've got a few more colours from the States that I want to use. Okay, I've got one of them that's got a little bit of blue in it. So with all the crabs running around, right, what we might do is we might see if we can put that on and see how we go, all right? This is the time of night that you use different colours, people. And if I can offer one piece of advice, always take a little notebook with you, right? And write down, that's probably last century type stuff, use your phone or whatever. Just write notes on the conditions on the night, the date, that's usually important, right? What the wind was doing, barometer, moon phase, all that sort of stuff. Point of the tide and what colour soft plastic you're using. If you do that for a year, you'll be amazed at the information that you can accrue that'll help you fishing, okay? Positive thinking's got nothing to do with it, echidna, right? That's just all that new age stuff, mate. We have no idea when these fish are going to bite, mate. We just got to keep casting until they do, right? But I know that we are sort of getting a bit long in the tooth with the moon phase, which is how it is. So, yeah, it's just one of those things, mate. You've just got to unlock the code, echidna, right? Okay, so what have we got here? Let's have a look. Any given colour will work on any given day. Worrying your parents to death. That's what your job is when you're young, mate. Got to keep your parents on edge. All right, people, so what do you reckon? What colour would you use here? So I've got some beautiful, like silver on the bottom and green on the top. I've also got like a motor oil colour as well. That's a bit of a corker. Now, what do you think about this colour? Blue on top with a bit of, speckle through it and a yellow underneath. What do you reckon about that? Do you reckon that might work? So look, if we'll let chat decide again. Here are some beautiful crayfish soft plastics that I've got for the freshwater fishing. That's the red and black and the blue and black. I sent a heap of these over to New South Wales and they sold out pretty quick. All right, so what do you reckon? If you reckon this one will catch a fish, type B in the chat. That's interesting. That was a bit of a splash. If you reckon this one will catch fish, type a G in chat. And if you reckon this one will catch fish, type M in chat. Okay, let's see what's happening. Whoops. Bennett Adams, thank you very much for subbing at tier 1, bud. Stallion's third leg. Sorry about that, mate. So you reckon green and silver. All right, so see this here, right? Blue and gold, green and silver, and motor oil. That's pearl. We've tried that colour, it doesn't work. So which one of these do you think it'll work? All right, so let's have a look. $72. All right, so Kiwi Aaron's, how are you, bud? Lols, he reckons the motor oil. Postman Pat, yellow underbelly. All right, well, that's enough so far. We've taken a reading from our sample population. Right, we're going to go with the yellow underbelly. I'm going to get a... Hey, Barkid, how are you, bud? Yeah, well, I mean, we've got Blue Manna in here, so we may as well just try something with blue on top, you know. It's the same old story, you just got to work it out, fam. Some people sort of take the comfort approach, you know, and use the same old colour for everything. It doesn't work that way. Rivers and conditions are changing all the time. Let me have a look here. Barkid, how are you, mate? Okay. That's not it. That's not it. Did it send it big? Let's have a look. You want to hear something really funny, people? There's a little bait fish in the water that looks very similar to this blue one here. Let me have a look. That's a mullet, I think. Look at them all. All right, so all the bait fish have come into the shallows for a safety thing. All right, the water's starting to warm up a bit, which is good. Everything's calmed down. The tide's turned, fam. This is good. These are happy days. Did I leave one of them by mistake, did I, or what? So all the little fish are being pushed into the shallows, fam. This is good. Oh, where did I put all my... Where did I put all my G-heads? Damn it. They're the wrong ones. Oh. Probably because I'm looking in the wrong box. Good one, Jimbo, you spoon. All right. So what we're going to do with this one, certainly is sniping, Barbara. So what we're going to do with this one, I don't know whether you can see that, I've got the longer shanked hook. Is that a possum? I've got a little possum up here, people. Where are you, little fella? Hang on, I'll see if I can find this possum for us. Right, so what we'll do is, we'll just No, we don't get squirrels. Oh, that's how the world works, mate. That's why the world rotates on an axis. Now, people, when you're putting your soft plastics in, okay, sometimes you've got little, sometimes you've got little points on your soft plastic that help you out. So see this here, how we've got this slot in the middle of the soft plastic where you can put scent and that sort of stuff. If you want to get your soft plastic true, see the eye of your jig there, put that through there, keep that in there. That'll bring the absolute perfect position for it. Right, bring that through there, bring that up into here. Then what you've got is, you've still got that in there. Bring that through the slot like so, and voila, you have an absolutely perfectly presented soft plastic there as you have it, okay? Little bit of super glue on there. Now with this offset jig head like that, see how it's totally weedless? And if anything hits this soft plastic, it'll get hooked. So, now what we do, just to finish that off, a little bit of super glue between the jig head and the front of the lure like so. That's the Loctite gel that's on there. Right, what we'll do is we'll just hold it in there for about 30 seconds. Right, and what we've got is a beautifully presented soft plastic that's now equidistant between the middle of it. Right, and now it'll actually swim true in the water, which is good. Here are these crabs again. Right, and now what we'll do is we'll use this one. Jigsaw, how are you, bud? The world's a big place there, Bravo. What are you doing, Jigsaw? You behaving yourself? You're getting in trouble over there in sunny old Scotland. That should be right. Beautiful night here in the water. Somehow I think we probably should have gone and fished Snakesville, but you can't have everything in life, you know. A lot of water coming in. All right, we're going to try this blue and gold soft plastic on this jig head and see how we go with it, people. Let's see what chat's saying first. Hey, God's loyal, no, bud. Oh, nice to see it's summer, Jigsaw. Oh, that's how it goes, Bravo. Some people can't accept that there's other parts of the world, mate, you know. Hey, that's a nice cast. Ooh, hello. That's got a good action in the water. I can feel that tail vibrating through the rod. Good. That's a really good looking soft plastic in the water, people. Wow. Tell you what, let me just show you what this looks like in the water, okay? Oh, does it? So what we'll do here is, right, have a look at this soft plastic in the water, fam. Check this out for a beautifully presented soft plastic. Watch. Look at this. I don't know whether you can see it on the bottom or whatever. See how that just jigs nicely? And with the loop it just sits there and moves in the current. Okay. Like I said, it's not the ideal conditions, but tracks beautifully, tail moves beautifully, everything. Let's bring this back up here. Let's see what we're going to see here now. Rightio. Oh, a bit of dirt on the screen, that doesn't help. Thanks everyone, 130 solid viewers, that's awesome, without the front page as well, you know. Beautiful. Beautiful action on this soft plastic in the water, people. You can just feel it working, you know. Nicely done. $100km/h winds. What was the old saying? If December starts as a lamb, it finishes as a lion, or something in Scotland, Jigsaw? There's a little school of bait fish that are starting to get bailed up under that tree, people. So, yeah, with mulloway fishing, it's a very lonely, drawn-out affair, people. Okay? It's a very lonely, drawn-out affair. So, you've just got to put in the time. And some people, I think it was McGee that said in the chat, some people fish for 10 years for mulloway before they get their first metre-long fish, you know. And as time goes on, they're getting, you know, harder and harder to catch because so many people are keeping them, you know what I mean? Personally, I think if the government wants to get serious with their fishing, what they should do is put a total ban on keeping fish, right? Even if it's just for 2 years. So just make it like mandatory catch and release for a couple of years, right? No one will like it, but at least the fish numbers will come back, you know what I mean? Seems like a bit of a drastic measure, but if we don't do something soon. Hey Red Dirt, how are you? Not tonight, mate. A couple of nights ago we got a 2-footer, so. Yeah, but bravo, that's what important, mate. Family's important, mate, you know, and I mean, if you've got a bubs on the way in July, that's what your whole focus should be on, bud. Don't worry about anything else, mate. You just worry about, you know, the baby that's on the way, mate. That should, you know, most important thing in your life, bud. That's important. You can always come back to this, mate. You know what I mean? And not sort of worry about it too much, you know? There's over 10 million content creators on Twitch, mate. There's over 60 million on YouTube, so you'll always find someone to watch, bud. But you have the birth of a child once in a lifetime, mate, so that should be paramount, you know? Oh dear. Rightio, so the only colour we haven't tried yet is the jet black tail, which I'm about to put on. Right. That would be very interesting if that like caught fish, wouldn't it? Okay. Still, it was good to use this soft plastic anyway. Red Dirt, I don't know. Some people just keep really big mulloway to take the... They usually have jewels in the back of the head, and they just keep the mulloway to take the jewels out of the back of the head, which is stupid. They should just leave it to swim, mate, so the jewels get bigger for next time, you know, but people don't think that far ahead, bud, if you know what I mean. Now, this is interesting. We've got a boat going through the river at night. They were the guys that came back before earlier, so what they've done is they've gone upstream either crabbing or netting. I bet you they went and fished Snakesville. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, they call them jewfish for a reason, Red Dirt. All right. Well, I'm going to just put just a jet black tail on now. See how that goes, all right? We got to figure this out, famo. You got to remember, with fishing, you're always learning, you know. No one knows absolutely everything there is to know about fishing. You've just got to give it a go, you know what I mean? But that blue and gold soft plastic that the chat selected then is beautiful. Lovely colour, works very well in the water. Whew. Can't wait to use that again. That would be a very good colour down south. It matches a few of the bait fish in some of the waterways down there, you know. Bunnings or bust, welcome to the stream, bud. How are you, mate? What's going on? How's your day going, buddy? Yeah, so what happens is, the reason why they call them jewfish 2 pints is in the back of the head they have a calcium deposit that looks like a little set of jewels. The bigger the fish, the bigger the jewels. So hence the term jewfish. So that's why people collect them. I just don't see the point of killing a live animal just for something that's decoration, you know. And then anyway, if everybody was doing the right thing, we'd have no issues with fish stocks, would we? But we do, so that's the headache. Oh, it's typical, mate, isn't it? Yeah, that's the thing, mate. I mean, full moon's not really the best time to go, bud. You know what, people? This black soft plastic tail is the easiest one of the lot to see. That's quite bizarre, actually. Well, let's see what this can do, eh? That's weird. Well, we've missed our window of opportunity, I think. There's something trying to climb into the bag, is there? Well, the moon's out, people. We've got that eerie glow over the water. Maybe now, if we just cast out into the middle, the moon's nearly in its highest point in the sky. We can just carry on from there. Nice one. I think that would have been South Africa, send it big. Hey, Zappafant, how are you, bud? Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. How you been, stranger? What's going on? Okay, well, I think we just have a few more casts with the big heavy duty one. Right, and then we're probably going to call it a night, famo. I'm starting to get a bit tired now. Jay Marie, we did a couple of nights ago, mate. We got a 2-foot mulloway, which wasn't too bad, but tonight's been pretty quiet. They're always a tough proposition in the river, famo. I think the tide's turned just now, fam, so if we are going to get one, it's going to be now. What the hell's that? Oh, you cheeky little bugger. Hey? Little possum on the roof, famo. What are you doing, bud? Hey? Oh, they're just such noisy little buggers. Sometimes a feral cat makes the same noise, and that's when you're in big trouble because those things fear nothing. Years ago in the country, they were okay, mate. Zapperfan, you had that very bad injury, mate, that held you back from memory. You had a lower leg injury, didn't you? Or was it your hand? I can't remember. It was one of your fights the last time you told me. So the most important thing, bud, is, you know, have you recovered from your injuries? And are you well? Don't worry about the boxing and how many wins and how many losses and that sort of stuff, mate. And are you still in the Netherlands? Yeah, I'm good, bud. I got COVID late last year, and then I had a series of ailments after that. So I haven't been able to sort of get my health back. I ended up with bacterial pneumonia a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, it's been disastrous, mate. Now, people, the tide has finally come in and it's finally changed. I'll tell you how the easiest way to do it is. See all the leaves and everything here on the water? They're starting to head out to the ocean again. So that's how you know the tide's changed, all right? You can just see all these leaves and that sort of stuff starting to head left. You don't need to worry about times and that sort of stuff. After a while, you just pick up these little tricks, you know. So now that we've got this last part of the tide, what we're going to do is we're just going to carry on with our little soft plastic. Right, we're going to probably have about another 5 to 6 casts and see if we can get one. And then that'll be it for a few nights. Did that little bugger end up on the ground there? Oh no, he's still fluffing around on the roof. Yeah, the tide's changed again. Everything's heading back out to sea, Famo. What's chasing that now? Oh, we've got a few little shrimp that have been pushed into the shallows by something. Don't know what that is though. The serenity of nighttime fishing is just something you can't buy, people, right? Just the serenity of it is just surreal almost, you know? Everyone's in bed, there's no one carrying on. We're here, we're the only ones fishing on the river, which Australia is great for that. We're one of the few countries left in the world where you can do that. And the good thing about this is I got my rhythm back for the fishing. So now when we go to do other content, we'll have it back to do it, you know, which is what it's about. Felt a bit short, that. Just excuse me for a second, fam. I'm just going to cast this out and leave it. Just going to check what this noise is behind me. Don't know whether it's a possum or a feral cat, you know. So let's just do another big long cast. And it's still going. So just give me a second, okay? Not tonight, KT. Just give me a second, people. I'll be back in a second. The hand injury. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Zapafant. Mate, at the end of the day, bud, what you got to do is make sure that your health is okay. So, yeah, Wiper, we got a 2-foot mulloway a couple of nights ago, bud, which was a good catch. Unfortunately, we had terrible reception. Oh, what was that? That was a hit. Nothing's taking it seriously tonight, people. All they're doing is when they hit something, right, it's like it's more of a territorial strike with trout. You know, when you fish for brown trout and rainbow trout, sometimes in the year when they're in the spawning mode, they don't feed, but they'll just swat stuff out of the way, you know. Got a heap of bait fish out in the middle too. What is that? Casting a long way with these little moulded like jigs. I don't know who was in the stream today or yesterday as well, people, but what's happened is we've joined forces with the Western Australian newspaper group who are partnered with BHP, and what they're doing is they are promoting a community-based live streaming app called streamer.com.au. We're the first live fishing stream that signed up for the app. So there's no chat with the app. All you do is just live stream to it, and then basically people can watch your content after you've done it, okay? So the good thing is too with that, with no chat, there's no alerts, and as I said to the guy from the West, I said, look mate, we don't do donation goals or any of that garbage. We just provide content and try and bring our community together with content. He goes, oh great, that's all we're after, you know. A little bit of advertising from the West in there, but that's what their job is, you know. So I think we'll just give it a few more casts and call it a night and go home defeated yet again. Defeated but not forgotten, people. Oh, that's a beautiful cast. Right out into the middle of the river. Oh, the tide just turned, Wiper. Oh, really? Hey there, Wiper. Yeah, it wasn't a soft plastic, mate. Of course it was on a soft plastic. We don't fish with them for mate. Zapafant, which exercise was that? Was that the one with the cup or the one where you hold it out and roll it with your fingers? I can't remember, bud. I'm getting old, mate. 54 tomorrow, and you know the memory's going. Oh, we did some fishing with a luminous tail before, so. Yeah, that's the one, mate. Yeah, that is one of the most basic, like hand strengthening exercises out there. And you get a lot of benefit from it when you push out on the cup and you hold it, because all the tension goes through all your bones and, you know, tendons and everything. Some people get that strong with it, they get to the stage where they can break the cup, believe it or not. You little bugger, what are you doing? You've got these possums going feral in these trees, people. Rightio, we're going to make this the last cast. Beautiful long range cast out into the river. No, not really, Wiper. It's a pretty good night, mate. Yeah, thanks. I forgot. My wife reminded me. I've been so busy with work, I totally forgot. Thanks, Wiper. Yeah, matey. Good vintage 1970. What do you reckon, bud? Bunnings, good vintage or what? I reckon 1970 is an awesome vintage, bud. Getting too old though, people. Been asked to write for another book in the States, but I'm going to have to take a rain check on that, people. Just don't have any time with work. Yeah, the tide's going the other way. Have one more cast though, just in case a fish is coming back. It's a beautiful still night. Once this wind disappears, it's always good down the beach, you know, but the tides are wrong, so. That was some massive airtime there, people. Thanks, Dukes. 74, no, I think you're a bit biased there, 2 points. Zappafant, it's 10:15. Oh, Bunnings, it does. Like you wake up, then the next thing you know, you're going to bed, mate. So when you're young, you're always trying to, you're waiting for things to happen. Once you hit over the 50, mate, they just happen. It's like time's getting away from you, you know? So, tell you what, the world's changed a lot in the last 50 years, people. I'll give you the tip. Righto people, that's our night. Sorry about that. I thought we might have a chance. I know I was getting a bit close towards the full moon, but anyway, that's how it goes. Look, once again, Vedran, you need to calm down, bud. You need to lay off the Slivovitzer and have a good look in the mirror at yourself, all right? Oh, that's right, Wiper. Wow, thank you, people. Look, what we'll do is we'll just figure out who we're going to raid. No, we're not going to do that. Hang on. Don't tell me the bait fish is starting to go crazy now. Anyway, AFU Nagi 2105, right. Okay. All right, people, please follow us through this raid. Okay. Hey, Dukes, thanks, mate. Yeah, thanks, Greeters. Now, let's just follow through this raid. I always stuff this name up. I think that's right. All right, people, we're going to go and raid a German streamer. Thank you very, very much for tuning in tonight. No fish, but that's fishing, okay? Keep being awesome. Thanks for being such a great inspiration. We've got big things to come. Don't forget to follow, turn your notifications on, and please subscribe for free on YouTube. Thank you for everyone that's tuned in. A big thank you to the people that have subbed tonight, okay? Always appreciated, but never expected. And as I said, 3 words, keep being awesome. Bye for now.